It's 2 paragraphs long. 2. Okay? It's not complicated. Your job is to go back to Washington, go to the Democratic committee, the Republican committee, wherever you hang your hat, and tell the guys back there, there's something going on the land. We don't know what it is. It's new, but it's scaring me because there are an awful lot of people energized about this. So get energized. Shake yourself off. If you're feeling low and blue, if you're feeling like you haven't had a job in a couple of years and you're not likely to ever get a job again, take the time not to be down and depressed. Take the time to advocate. Become an advocate for this bill. Play to the incentives that economics teaches us. Go to these 5 centers of power, of which you yourself are one. Use the incentives that they live by to convince them to join us, to join me in an enterprise that can turn this country around in 6 months to the point where there will be nobody in this country who wants to have a job who will not have a good paying job. Let me give you some on-the-ground examples, because talking about Ford Motor or some big corporation probably doesn't resonate. But everywhere I go since I've been thinking about this project, barber shop, dry cleaner, I'm sitting having my hair cut. There's 2 barbers working in the shop. One of them's telling me about how much tax he has to pay. Taxes, 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 always going up. If this man didn't have to pay business taxes, he could hire 2 or 3 more barbers. Now, you may not want to be a barber, somebody else may want to be a barber, and a barber is a trade that you can carry with you your entire life. It's a trade. Everybody's always going to need a haircut. Okay? And if this guy doesn't have to pay taxes, he can go out and hire 2 or 3 guys, expand his shop, and give these young people a trade, a skill that they can live on and support their families permanently. And one of the key things that you need to emphasize that this bill will bring about is permanent jobs. You don't have to wake up every morning and wonder whether you're going to get thrown out in the street today with no notice and no hope of getting another job. Because the jobs will be permanent. The bosses will be absolutely desperate to keep you. Now, on a macro level, big level, we have tremendous infrastructure problems. Everyone knows about this. What to do about it? You take a company like Bechtel. Bechtel is one of the largest construction companies in the entire world. It is family owned. It's a private company. You go to Mr. Bechtel, or you have someone who is a high-up businessman who has decided to advocate for this position, and I suggest that the financiers in Wall Street, the other bankers, and the other industrialists listen up and pay attention. Go to their friends where they sit on the board of, say, Bechtel, and say, Mr. Bechtel, you know how much tax you pay every year. And you know if that money was in your pocket and you had to pay workers with that money, you could hire enough guys to change all the bridges, roads, railroad tracks, water pipes, and so on that need replacing in a matter of months. Just hire thousands and thousands of guys to do this work. It's no skin off your teeth because you don't have to pay taxes. Every dime of money that you spend on employees, you get to write off your taxes. Appeal to Mr. Bechtel. Take a retail shop, a store that sells clothes, for example. Take, for example, the Brooks Brothers clothes. Very nice clothes. They've been around since 1818. They hit a bad bump in the early 90s. They were purchased by an individual man for about $300 million. He has a major stake in this business. Go into his store and say, sir, Brooks Brothers is a very nice store that sells dress suits for men who go to businesses that require that they wear a suit. They also make a lot of summer wear and so forth, and they make a very good product. You need to advocate, sir, on a senatorial level, on the local level where your individual shops are located, to get this bill passed so that you can hire American workers and you can produce all of the clothing that you sell in America in factories that you can build and write down as depreciation in the first year, and hire massive number of workers. Now think of the spin-off effect of this. On Friday, when you get your paycheck, you have money in your pocket. You have money on a credit card to go to Brooks Brothers, to go to a restaurant, to go to a shop, to go to a club to dance. And everybody in those places benefits. They benefit. The club is jumping, the owner's making money, the store is jumping, the owner's making money, they're happy, he takes good care of his people, he hires more of them, he expands his shop. It will be a ripple effect, a rolling effect, all through the society, where the release of this money will create overnight a well-heeled, well-benefited, permanent middle class, which will have an immense amount of discretionary income to buy stuff. America is a country in which we make stuff so that people will buy stuff. Okay? Now, if people don't have any money, if people don't have any jobs, they're not going to buy stuff. So you go to small businessmen, mid-size, large, you go to Mr. Brooks Brothers and you say, Mr. Brooks Brothers, you have lovely clothes, but nobody can afford to buy them, and they don't need them because they don't have a job. So advocate for this bill. You're a powerful man. Call up a senator. Call up a congressman. Call up the president. Say that you want this bill passed. You want it put into a law right now, right away, and you realize that you're going to get the tax advantage and the people are going to get good jobs. The unions can act as advisors on what constitutes a good job. You know, I mean, how much do you pay? How much do you spend on benefits packages? The unions have created tremendous packages for their workers over the years. Let them do it again now. There's going to be plenty of workers